After you install Revit, it's good practice to check to ensure that the correct content is also installed. This Autodesk Knowledge Network page gives you a link to download the content should it not be installed at the first time of asking. We've included the link for this page as part of the dataset which accompanies this lesson. Scrolling down the page, you will find executables for your local installation that include family templates, project templates and family libraries that accompany the Revit 2021 installation. Simply select the required localization, then select the required executable to run the install for this content. During installation, you may experience that some products may fail to install during this installation of the Autodesk product. In this Autodesk Knowledge Network, to which we have provided a link to in the dataset which accompanies this lesson. In this article, it will explain the reason why some installations may become incomplete. There are several different causes for these messages, but generally these errors eradicate problems with one of the following areas. This can be Autodesk software prerequisites or Autodesk software components. Outlined in the article are precautionary steps that you can take to try and fix the errors that you are having. These will involve signing in as an administrator, emptying the temp file, disabling antivirus, and turning off user account control. Simply follow the steps as noted in the article and try the installation again. You may also need to reinstall or repair your Autodesk product from time to time. This generally will be because if you accidentally delete or alter certain parts of the files of the Autodesk product, which may cause it not to perform correctly. As noted in this Autodesk Knowledge Network article, to which we've provided a link in the dataset which accompanies this lesson, this outlines the steps of how to reinstall the software. This will generally be going to the Start menu, Control Panel, Programs, and then uninstall and change the required product. Simply select Uninstall, then select Repair or Reinstall. Once you run a repair or reinstall, this should repair the product back to its installation state. Once you have the Revit product installed, and before launching it, it's a good idea to check to ensure that the license has been assigned in your manage.autodesk account. Simply navigate to manage.autodesk.com and sign in. Once signed in, you can select all products and services. Selecting this link on the navigation pane on the left hand side will bring you in and show you all the products and services that have been assigned to your account. You will see on the list of products and services that Revit, that means that the product is now licensed and I have one seat for education as a single user. I can expand the Revit option and I can see that the summary is education and I've got access to 2021 plus 3 previous versions. Within here I can also view the individual downloads, check my activation and also show updates and add-ons that are available for the Revit platform. Once we have successfully installed Revit, we can now begin the software and sign in using our Autodesk ID and password. To start Revit, simply double-click the desktop icon. We will now be prompted shortly to sign in with our Autodesk ID. To sign in, simply add your email, then your password and select Sign In. This will now use the license as assigned in manage.autodesk.com and assign it to your Revit platform. We have now successfully started and signed into Revit and can begin using the platform. In some instances, you may be required to manage your license. To do this, select the drop-down to the right of your username. Selecting this drop-down, we can now select the Manage License option. This will then show the license. In some instances, you may also have a Sign In button on this screen where you will simply need to sign in with your Autodesk username and password to assign the license to the Revit platform. After your Revit installation is complete, you can also use Revit in other languages. In this Autodesk Knowledge Network, to which we've provided a link in the dataset which accompanies this lesson, this outlines the steps needed to change the language of Revit. As noted in this article is the individual language codes which can be applied when changing the language of the Revit installation. To demonstrate this process, I can select the Revit 2021 icon, right click I can create a copy of this icon. Then right-clicking again, I can paste this icon on the desktop. To change the language, I can simply right-click the copied icon and check its properties. Within the target, you will see at the end of the target is the individual country code for the language. To change this to French, I'm going to select the ENG from English and change it to FRA for French. Selecting Apply and OK will modify the desktop icon. To check that this has worked, we can simply launch Revit from this icon. You will see shown on screen that all menus, project browser and properties are now translated into the French language. We can also, where necessary, uninstall Revit as required. Selecting the Windows Start menu, we can then choose Settings. Within Settings, we can then choose the Apps section. Here we can search for the list of apps and features. In this instance, I'm going to search the list for Revit 2021. Here we have found Revit 2021. Selecting this in the list will then reveal the Modify or the Uninstall option. Selecting Uninstall will begin the process to uninstall Revit from our laptop. Once the Uninstaller launches, simply select Uninstall to remove the product from your system. Once the product has successfully uninstalled, select the Finish button to complete the process. You may also be required from time to time to complete what we call a clean uninstall of the Revit product. There may be circumstances where the Autodesk product needs to be removed from the workstation to allow for a clean installation. As noted in this Autodesk Knowledge Network, to which we've provided a link in the accompanying dataset for this lesson, this outlines the process of how to complete a clean uninstall. We must stress, however, that doing a clean uninstall is entirely at your own risk, and we suggest you consult with your IT department prior to completing this task. Outlined in the article is the step-by-step process of how to remove and do a clean uninstall for Revit on your system. It's important that you read all the warnings and understand the implications of editing the Windows registry, which may render your computer operating system unusable after incorrect editing. Once you have completed a clean uninstall, you are now ready to install the Revit products onto a clean system.